Back on the Friday Night Thunder Scoreboard Show, Dennis Weaver, Josh Peterson, Danny Catalano, Brian Markham, Rob Clutter. The lights are still on here, and they better stay on.
Reminds me of the Back to the Minors Major League installment.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, let's go to the phone lines. This is the Sweet Tea Bakery Hotline. It is none other than the Playoff Professor. We need an update from the Playoff Professor. Mr. Tom Kreager, prep editor for the Daily News Journal, joins us on the Sweet Tea Bakery Hotline. Tom, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. I think I got a long night ahead of me. Sounds like some interesting contests going on across the state, and 6A, I think 6A is going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, what looking at the scores tonight, just a quick look the cursory look that you've done. Does the Riverdale upset of Smyrna, does that have an effect on the brackets?
I don't think so right now. It would have to be. It could affect maybe a spot in the seedings. I think they're a 7 seed. I mean, depending on how they're probably a 7 seed. Depending on how everything shakes down, they could have fought them down to an 8 seed, maybe a first round meeting with Oakland, depending on what some other teams did. I mean, it's just too early to really know until you start seeing all the scores. There's a lot of scores I got to see. I haven't seen. I mean, I don't know the Overton score, the Wilson Central score. There's a lot of key games, and then there's some key games out west that could change some things.
Well, you need to check out the Friday Night Thunder scoreboard.
Yeah, if you want to know scores.
Yeah.
Well, I can't do that while I'm driving down the road very easily, though, boy.
But it is available on your smartphone and your tablet. When you get safely pulled over, it's FridayNightThunder.com. It's the Had Motor scoreboard, by the way. All right, I know you didn't call so that we could plug our scoreboard. What game did you go see tonight, my friend?
I saw a thrilling game at Tomahawk Stadium. Riverdale beats Smyrna 14-7. Riverdale finishes third place, and here's a trivia question that'll go down in the record books. When is the last time? When is the only time the third place team from 7 AAA didn't go to the playoffs?
I don't know of ever really until maybe the 70s when they only took 2 from each district.
Exactly, that might be the only time. But big game for Riverdale last 2 weeks, really. And Coach Ron Anlott made a comment to me afterward. This basically said, "Hey, maybe it shows you some of the fallacies of this playoff system." Like I said, hey, if they were able to schedule as well as some other teams, maybe they'd have a little bit better record and maybe be a playoff team.
Ouch. Nice shot, Ron. I like it. I hope to get him on the scoreboard show tonight. He's done a real good job.
When I saw him.
Well, good. I'll text him here in a little bit and have him call in. I had to text him last week to get him to finally call in, but we'll try to do that. What other impressions you got coming out of tonight's game? And I don't know what your time frame is, so.
Well, I'm on my way home, but my internet access wasn't working right, so I'm going to head to my house to write my story. Then, of course, I'll officially be in the playoff cave, the Bojangles playoff cave, if you mind. Maybe since I got a couple cans of Coke, maybe the Coca-Cola Bojangles cave.
Wow, good stuff.
But here's what I was impressed with. Riverdale's defense really the last 2 weeks of keeping the teams out of the end zone held Smyrna to 7 points, and I haven't figured out. I think they kept them for under 200 total yards. Maybe went over 200 yards in that last little bit, but I thought they did a really good job. I think they kept the Summer kid right around 100 yards. The Rodale kid they got some pressure on him. Senior Cat Onwu. I mean, I know this is his last game ever in the Riverdale jersey, and I thought he had a spectacular last 2 weeks. And this week he had an interception, kept 1 foot in the end zone to stop one score, had a touchdown for Riverdale, and really has played lights out the last couple of weeks for them. And has had a pretty good senior season. I think we overlooked that when the team's 4 and 6 of how good a person can play. And I think the other thing is they've played a lot of young kids the last 2 weeks, and it shows you that, hey, there are some athletes coming up the system at Riverdale. And it may not get turned around next year, but I think they are on an uptick.
All right, Tom, we appreciate it as always. We'll maybe are you going to be out of pocket until 11?
I'm going to be out of pocket when I sit down. I'm pretty much putting my phone on mute.
Okay, all right.
If I tell you, I'm about ready to go in playoff seclusion.
All right.
And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm proud with we had everyone in our office working on stories. including a Lady Raiders exhibition game that they won. So we'll probably be all hands on deck making sure we make a deadline. So it'll be a late night for me.
All right. Well, I tell you what, let's do. Tell you folks how you're going to announce your playoff, your predicted playoff seedings.
Okay, well, we're going to do is I've projected them in the past via a blog or just a story on dnj.com. Going to do something different. We're going to have our own playoff projected bracket show, and where we're going to announce the 6A bracket as I see it. And this is how, once we get all the scores and I update all the playoff criteria, I will post what I believe the Tito's Filet will release on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. This is what I think they need to do. This isn't the matches I think they need to have. These are the matches I believe the Tito's Filet will announce Saturday. If using the guidelines the Tito's Filet has.
All right, thanks, Tom. We appreciate it as always. Okay.
Appreciate it.
That's Tom Kreager. Follow him on Twitter at Kreager, and he'll let you know when he is ready to announce that. We need to go to the scoreboard. It is the Haddon Motors scoreboard, and with the scoreboard, Josh Peterson.